We are getting down to the wire for today's episode of Classroom Pizza, episode 12, recipe number 4 of March Madness. Let's not waste any time and get right into it. I'm not sure that our pizza recipe this week has a common name. I'm sure it's called many different things throughout the world. We're gonna call it the Bacon Bleu Pizza, very similar to a Bacon Bleu burger. Basically, we are gonna do some gorgonzola cheese or blue cheese, fresh mozzarella, bacon, a balsamic glaze, and caramelized onion. It is so delicious, so let's get into it. We are gonna start with the same pizza dough and pizza sauce recipes from last week. So let's look at a quick recap of those. Start with 215 grams of 105°F water, about 1/6 of a teaspoon of yeast. Mix all that together, and then we're gonna take 50 grams of 00 flour, mix it all together. Once it's good and mixed, you're gonna take 270 grams of 00 flour, and you're gonna slowly incorporate that. Then you're gonna throw in 7 grams of fine sea salt. And now you're gonna mix for about 15 full minutes. After you're done mixing, you're gonna rest it for 10 minutes under a damp cloth. And then you're gonna mix again for 5 minutes. Then throw it back under the damp cloth for 2 hours at room temperature. Once room temperature rise is done, you're gonna uncover your dough, split it into 2 dough balls, and then you are going to form your separate dough balls, throw them into their own containers, and then leave it in the fridge for 24-hour rise. Okay, so we're going to start with 1 can of San Marzano tomatoes. Dump that into a large bowl, and you're just going to break them up with your hand. Then you are going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of sea salt, 1 tablespoon of sugar, throw in a dash or 2 of crushed red pepper, add 5-6 big leaves of fresh basil. Take your emulsifier and you're just gonna gently give a couple quick pulses. While we wait for our dough, let's take a look at how to assemble our toppings. Start with 4 or 5 pieces of bacon. You can cook it on the stove or in the oven. After cooking it, leave it aside and let it get to room temperature. Now take 1 white onion and chop it into medium-sized chunks. Don't go too small or finely cut. Then over medium heat in a saucepan, throw a tablespoon of butter and let that melt before throwing in your onions. Cook for about a minute over that medium heat. Then throw in your sugar and your salt. Bring it down to low, slow and low. Let it cook without stirring it for about 10, 15, even 20 minutes. After that time, go back, give it a little stir, make sure that everything is getting cooked. And then after about 30 minutes of slow and low, you're gonna turn up that heat a little bit so you can start to brown it a little bit more and then cook it a few minutes and you are good to go. Let those onions cool down to room temperature, same with our bacon, and then we're gonna add them into a bowl with the rest of our ingredients, our gorgonzola, our bacon, and our onions. Throw in our mozzarella cheese as well. Once that mixture is all good, ready to go, throw it into the freezer while the oven is preheating. This week we're back to using our home oven, so we're gonna crank that as high as it goes, about an hour out. Leave your pizza stone or your pizza steel, whatever you're cooking your pizza on, in the oven as it is preheating. Make sure you leave it in there for a full hour. 10 minutes out, so it's time to assemble our pizza. Remove your dough, pushing the air to the outside. Stretch out your dough. Then top with our sauce. Take out your cheese, bacon, and onion mixture from the freezer and spread that on top. Pizza into the oven, 8 to 10 minutes. Let's see how it looks. And here we go. We are almost done. We're gonna top with some Parmesan cheese and then finish off with our balsamic glaze that we made last week. Go check out that episode for that recipe. You can also use a pre-made glaze. Those are just as good, but our homemade one is definitely a little bit better. Top with that and we are good to go. Keeping our homework simple this week, all I want you to do is try out our Bacon Bleu Pizza, then head on over to social media, upload a picture and tag Classroom Pizza, letting me know how it went and what you thought. That is it. Our 4th recipe is in the books. One more to go for our March Recipe Madness. Next week, number 5. I hope you are enjoying these recipes as much as I enjoy them. Obviously, I'm giving you my favorite recipes, and I know every week I tell you that they're my favorites, so I hope you love them as much as I do. As always, I will see you next week, and thanks for coming to class.